that, and then I got into impersonating Adele, which turned out really well for me. It's good.
How did that come about? Did somebody say you sound a lot like Adele, or?
Yeah.
She's got a very distinctive voice, so.
She does. I think it was more what I looked like. At first, I was singing in a band and just kind of running around Vegas not knowing what I was going to do. And a friend of mine asked me if I ever did any Adele, and I hadn't, but, I pretty much just learned it and auditioned, and Caesars hired me, so, yeah.
So for all the people that have been there, it's not lip syncing, that's your voice.
Yes, yeah, that was me. They do that sometimes. Sometimes, but it was really important to me to have a job where I could sing on the daily, and so that came about at a really nice time for me. It was good.
Very cool. And the country band?
Yeah, we're called Crossroads South. And like I said, I've done maybe 5 shows with them. I auditioned and they got me in, and we've got some shows coming up, and we just finished our video, and we got our pictures done, and it's just, country music is a whole different animal, but it's been a challenge. It's a lot of lyrics.
I have to listen to her every day when she's learning the songs. So.
Yes, he does.
Now I'm converted now.
Oh, you're a country guy now?
So
now I am. I'm just going to get my head, I'm going to get the Stetson and all that, and the whole thing. I never thought I would, but.
Yeah, then you got to go through the process of, losing your truck.
Yeah,
your house,
shooting the dog,
girlfriends. You gotta go to jail for a little bit.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be anywhere near country, but
you love it.
But she had to learn the song, so I'm listening to it every day. I'm like, okay, and then I start singing it, So, okay.
I guess you can't help it. So are you guys like dating?
Yes.
Yeah, we're together. We live together.
Yeah, live together, or
we live together. Yeah,
both.
Both of us with our little dog.
With our dog.
Yeah.
That's good.
So she has to learn stuff that I'm learning. It's like the Bow Wow Wow stuff I had to just learn.
So she sings like I Want Candy and stuff.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
You could say any Bow Wow Wow song, but they say I Want Candy, like, oh yeah, I know that song.
Yeah, that stuff's pretty crazy. Some of that stuff is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I Want Candy is probably the safest song. The rest of it's like a lot of attitude and a lot of new wave punk with tribal rhythms. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of African beats.
Yeah, it's really, once you get into it and learn it, it's like, oh my God, it's been the most challenging thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it still somewhat of the original lineup? I know the singer's still the same.
Well, the original guy from the band is the bass player, and he's the only original. The guitar player passed away, I think, 10 years ago. We're not working with Annabelle. We have a new singer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she decided to do her own thing. So it's a fresh band. It's like the new Bow Wow Wow. We're just about to do some recording and do some bookings in Vegas.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We do these 80s packages. We go out with like Flock of Seagulls and all those guys.
Oh God, if my other co-host Mad Mike was here today, he'd flip out because he loves the Flock of Seagulls.
Oh yeah, we just did a show in Phoenix with him.
Every time there's a band in here, he's like, "Do you know I ran by the Flock of?" I'm like, "No, that's not them."
Well, these gigs are funny because they book like about 8 different bands, Flock of Seagulls, Men Without Hats and Bow Wow Wow, and everyone gets up and plays for 15 minutes. So you got this one show and you get on and you get off. Do 5 songs, you do your hits and then get off.
Yeah.
Which is great, it's fun. And because people just want to hear the hits, they don't want to hear all the album conceptual stuff, But as I say, it's a lot of fun. I was out with Ronnie Montrose a couple of years ago as well. I played with him, and I do heavy metal stuff as well. A guy called Mandy Lyon.
I know Mandy, yeah.
Yeah, World War III. I just did a bunch of stuff with him. I mean, I just work whatever it takes, I do it.
So when you're not drumming for Bow Wow Wow and all that, you're playing in other bands around town?
Yeah, I mean, I've been here for 12 years in Vegas, and I've done the whole circuit, and I actually put a band together for a show, Erotica. I don't know if you remember that, a few years ago.
Oh, right.
I put the band together for that. I did that show. I have an Irish band. We've been playing the Nine Fine Irishmen for 10 years now, every Tuesday night. So I do whatever it takes to survive.
Very cool.
You know, just do it.
Do you and you've done classes over the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp?
Yeah, I'm a counselor at the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. So I do the 4-day camps, and they bring me in to work with campers. And that's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So you know Jason Ebbs then?
Yeah, I know Jason.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's great. I'm in a band with him as well called Jet Velocity.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, that band is amazing.
Yeah, we do a lot of charity stuff. We've got the Veterans Day charity thing coming up soon as well. Veterans Village.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
That's a cool thing.
It is, and then we're doing a Christmas show. We do a Christmas Toys for Tots as well.
Over the last year was at LVH.
Yeah,
right?
we did that last year. We're going to do it again. Bob Kulick plays guitar in the band from Kiss.
See, Darren, I get around. So,
You did your research.
Yeah. No, I went last year. It was a great show, that Toys for Tots.
Yeah, it was. And we had a
lot
had
of
a good
cool.
time.
Zoe Boy was there, and Murray Sawchuck. Yeah, it was a good show.
I mean, Vegas has really changed. I mean, when I got here 12 years ago, there was no rock people. I mean, very sporadic. And it was, I think, the drummer from Striper was here, and the drummer from what's his name? Not Lars, Blas, from Slaughter.
Yeah,
and that was about it. So when I got here, I came here from New York, and I put an
Paul Sorrentino's been here a long time.
Not for 12 years, I don't think, though.
Really?
Maybe 8 years, maybe. But now everyone's here.
It just seems to be the retirement home for rockers.
Well, they don't think that. They think they're going to come here and work.
Yeah.
But it's not as easy as they think.
Have you seen that Raiding the Rock Vault show?
I have, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Really good. And you're friends with Doug Aldridge, right?
Well, I know Doug. I played with him. I know Paul Moore, actually. I know Paul Shortino. We've done some shows together. It's great. I think what's great what's happening here. I think all these rockers moving to town. It's going to open up a lot of stuff.
Lita Ford was just here. She played a vamp. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did a camp with her.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about the camps, because I'm working with like some amazing people. Like I was sitting down with Vinny Appice and Joe Fatale, and we were actually going over some of the Bow Wow Wow stuff. I'm like, hey, this rhythm is driving me crazy. You've got to help me here. So we're all sitting around a table trying to work out this rhythm. You know,
right.
It was a moment. You know, it was great. But I love working with people like that. It's excellent.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great.
I mean, the life you've lived.
Yeah, I got some stories. Yeah, I actually play with Spinal Tap as well.
Oh yeah, those guys are great.
So don't ask me.
So that's how you know Paul.
I actually not through that. No. But I don't do any gardening anymore.
No.
No more gardening.
Nice. Yeah, when Paul, one of the last times he was on, we. It was I think it was the 25th anniversary of Spinal Tap. It was like something and we talked about. He had so many great stories about.
Man, well, I met him in New York, and they were playing at the Beacon Theatre, and I was staying up there at the time, and I was walking past the Beacon Theatre, and I saw Spinal Tap, and I knew the drummer, so I went behind stage to see if I could see him. He walks out with his leg in a bandage, completely bandaged up. And he recognised me. He said, "Les, come in." So I go in backstage with him, and we go up to the dressing room, hanging out. And then the singer, Jameson Hubbins, is it? He comes walking into the dressing room, and he says to me, he meets me, and he says, "We don't have any passes left. The only pass we have is an artist pass. So that means the only way you're going to get in tonight is if you play with us." I'm like, okay, that's fine. So they said, "Yeah, get up and do Big Bottom." So I went back to my apartment I was staying at, and I learned Big Bottom right there, and I went back there and walked on stage with them, and Skunk Baxter was playing with us, with them as well.
Right.
It was great. It was a great night. I mean, it was just wow. It's in my resume and everything.
It's a friend of mine, Bernie Hamburger, who makes Hamburger guitars. He told me the story one time on air. We were talking to him about something. He goes, "Hey, did I ever tell you about the time that I played with The Who?" I went, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I was in The Who for like 15 minutes. I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, they came in, and I think he said it was Pete Townsend, and the guitar broke, and he repairs them, and he goes, there was only one guy that somebody at Mandalay Bay at the time was like, there's only one person I know that can fix the guitar that fast and whatever. So they called Bernie, and Bernie went down there and got the guitar, and he goes, yeah, give me like, an hour and a half, whatever, to fix it. I'll be back. Brings it back. And Pete Townsend's like, how many of these songs on the playlist do you know? And he goes, well, I know all of them. And he goes, all right, you play them, and I'm going to go into the back of the theater and hear how it sounds.
Oh, wow.
So he did the whole song with the Who.
Oh,
and he was like, it was the best 15 minutes of my life.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I was like, no, you never told me you played with the Who. Like, it's like,
wow.
How do you forget to tell a story like that?
Yeah, that's amazing.
So how long were you in the cult?
I was sentenced from 85 to 88. Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, it was my first really big band. I mean, I'd done some sessions before that. I played with Randy California from Spirit, Peter Green, Fleetwood Mac, and I'd done a bunch of sporadic stuff, but this was an actual joining a band. So it was like 1 minute,
I've made it.
1 minute on Social Security in London, the next minute I'm going to Japan, and it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you when you joined?
About 24.
All right.
Yeah, about 24, and up until that point, I was sort of struggling here and there, just getting sessions, but this was like, wow, I made it. It was pretty amazing. And we played in front of like 90,000 people, and David Bowie, and the Tonight Show, and it was crazy, And I was young, and it was like, wow, because I worked hard, all these years, just playing with everyone I can, and just networking and going out, and really pushing myself, and it was a good feeling.
Well, it was a great band.
I saw the world,
Yeah.
It was great. I play with, in between that, I played with Ronnie Montrose. That was great. I love playing with him. He was amazing before he died.
I hope it was before he died.
Yeah.
Because afterwards, be a really good story.
Yeah. He was a gentleman, though. He was amazing.
Yeah.
And, so that was great. And I'm always busy, I always keep myself busy.
Who were some of your influences in the music biz?
Brian Downey from Thin Lizzy was one of my favorite drummers. And of course, Stuart Copeland, John Bonham, there's a lot. But Thin Lizzy were a big influence on me. And I knew Phil Lennart. I used to go to his place a lot, hang out with him back in the day. And he was a big influence on me. So I come from a real rock roots,
right?
Like real heavy metal stuff. So
you must hate a lot of the music today.
I don't really listen to it. I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
You know what I mean? She turns me on to sort of a lot of new bands.
Like, I'm a huge Weird Al fan, and this last album, I didn't know who he was parodying.
Oh yeah, he's got a film out now. Have you seen that film?
Yeah,
it's coming out.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is the first time. I feel old because I don't. Because I didn't know the parodies.
So
I knew.
Was it?
I just knew one song, and it was like he did a parody of Blurred Lines, and I'm like, you knew that song because it was so popular. But then I was like, I don't know any of these. Well, besides,
I know she plays me stuff. I'm like, who's this?
Yeah.
So I have to ask her. She's got an iPod full of all this stuff. I'm like, who's that? Who's that?
It's just weird. The music today is just not what it was, man.
Yeah, I mean, I work with Sylvain from New York Dolls and Cheetah Chrome as well. We did an album in Nashville a few years ago. I mean, those guys are great, but they can't get booked. They can't get work. It's a shame.
Yeah, it's sad. I had a buddy in the car who was listening to Led Zeppelin, and he goes, "Why do you like this?" I'm like, "Because it's better than what's on." It's like,
why do you like
this?
this?
Because this is music, man. This is.
I've had to play some bad stuff as well. I've been booked on some tours that it's so embarrassing. I'm learning the stuff in the car, and I have to wind the window up because it's that bad.
Yeah.
And what you have to do for money,
Right.
Well, that's how I felt when I first joined the country band.
Yeah, you
I'm
didn't know.
blasting Carrie Underwood.
I know. We're driving to LA, and she's learning. Do you mind if I learn my stuff? I'm like, okay, it's fine. But it's like, oh my god. Some of the stuff is really,
You're like, it's so cool. Country music's so corny.
It is. It really is. Well, she does a great job. I mean, she nails it.
I have good friends that are in country bands, and I support them. But man, are those songs corny.
Well, it is changing. I mean, even Dave Grohl was playing in a country band last year, wasn't he, or something?
I mean, come on, songs like "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy." Come on,
yes.
How is that a song?
How about Big Green Tractor?
Yeah,
Another one.
Come on, these are horrible.
Some
songs.
of it is really good. Some of it is really good, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
the new country is pretty cool.
Yeah.
There were some songs that I did do backups on because we have another. There's two vocalists in the band, and a few of them I was just like, I'm not learning this. I'm sorry. But everything is pretty good though.
Yeah.
We do more of a rocking thing though. We don't really choose anything.
Yeah, I don't like that twangy country
hardcore
song.
banjo.
It's the singing that bugs me the most.
Yeah.
I can't stand
That's like that
the
Sugarland.
singing. Oh my god.
Everybody's
Yeah.
got that same.
Oh, it just drives me nuts. So what we do is we were driving and going somewhere. I mean, if I'm learning stuff, like I play one of my songs and then she does one of her songs. So we're basically torturing each other. Because I mean, some of that Bow Wow Wow stuff can be
Makes
a
for
bit,
a great car ride.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But
Yeah, it's awesome though.
so yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. We do music and.
You got to do what you love, man.
Yeah, try and make a living,
Absolutely.
Everybody does. Got to do what pays the bills.
Yeah.
So if we come back from a break, will you do some Adele for us?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, cool, yeah.
There we
I'll
go.
do some Bow Wow Wow for you, too.
Yeah, you just drum for us.
Yeah, you got any timbales around?
We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
And now, without further ado, here it comes. It's time for the Rockin' Comedy Show's Funnies at
5. Make some noise for the very funny Brian Scalaro.
You guys mind clapping one more time for Nate and Emily? Yeah. All right. That's enough. All right. Almost 3.